You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
I know you do. I know you do, because that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. You're a pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in a world where not much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in the chains. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I'm your host, John Hansboro. It is August 10th, 2022. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. Trying to stay dry out there. It's very wet right now. Be careful. Please drive safe if you're in your car, if you're traveling. Giving you definitely traveling mercies. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We got a special show today. This show is kicking off what we're doing in Vibes and Verses tomorrow at 4000 Coolidge Avenue. You don't want to miss Vibes and Verses tomorrow. Doors open at, I believe, 7 o'clock, 6 or 7. 4000 Coolidge Avenue, Vibes and Verses. This is where I met this young man at, actually. But this is all the this is all of the youth edition. It'll be youth poets, youth vendors, youth cooks, youth DJ, everything for the youth. We're trying to get something done for them before they go back to school in September. Thank God for the babies. As always, you can get my books on Amazon, Unusual Favor, Part 1, and Spitfire Poetry 1 and 2 are also on Amazon. All right. And also August 17th, guys, next week, we are 1 week away. 1 week away, August 17th. I will not be having a Spitfire Poetry Shutdown podcast on that Wednesday of next week. I will be performing in a stage play called I Am Woke, a poetical experience. This is the encore show, dinner theater. You don't want to miss that at the Orion, at the Fillmore. Tickets are on Eventbrite, so you want to get that as soon as you can. All right. Tonight, we have a special guest, young man named Am that I met at our Vibes and Verses at the beginning, at the end of last month, actually. He performed for everyone there and just rocked the crowd. I was so impressed with his performance and how he moved and how he was just so confident. I've been looking at some of his videos and things of that nature, so I want to introduce everybody to Am, everyone. Am, how you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm doing good, bro. How about yourself?
I cannot complain. So for the record, that is AM. That is what he goes by, everyone. AM. Am is a recording artist. He's a poet. He's a rapper. He's got a lot of different skills under his belt. I've watched a couple of his videos and things of that nature. And I like your style. You're different. You're not what you see every day. And that's the key to, you know what I mean? Create your lane and stay in your lane and just go with it. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you from, how old you are, what you like to do, what is your what's your interest right now that you're interested in, as far as rapping or poetry or both?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I had to go by the name of Am. I'm actually from Burtonsville, Maryland, small town, close to Silver Spring.
Yep, familiar.
And basically, I would say what got me started with music, it's just always been like a real passion ever since I was real young. I mean, like my great grandmother, rest her soul, but she used to always talk about how when I was a baby, I used to just always be dancing around and always be wanting to hear, some type of music. And that's basically, it's just been embedded in me ever since I can remember. And that's basically, what drives me to continue to make music, I would say, as far as this far, is just I see the effect that it has on people, like just like at, when I met you at the event, um, all the artists that had went up, all the poets that had went up. It's just a certain thing that happens in the room when you have that music involved. You know what I mean? It has a certain effect on people. It could change your mood. It could do a lot of good things. You know what I mean? So that's definitely why I'm involved with it.
So is it I say this all the time, poetry for me is therapeutic. I truly believe poetry actually saved my life. The more and more I think about it each day when I get up in the morning, it's affirmation.
Definitely,
What does
definitely.
it do for you? Is it therapeutic for you? Is it something that you use as a release, as an outlet?
Yes, most definitely. Like I I agree 100% totally with what you say. It's definitely therapeutic. Um, from what I get from it, it's kind of like a coping mechanism. Like with everything that because we all got our different trials and tribulations that we go through in our life,
Right.
and we have these different mechanisms that we use to cope. And it's just like for most of us, that I could probably speak for a lot of us who are artists and poets, the music and the poetry and writing, all those things help fuel us and help us, get by on our day-to-day basis, whatever we have to deal with throughout the day. And you get that time to unwind, clear your mind. I mean, it's just kind of like a meditation, so to speak.
Absolutely. So how long have you been well, first of all, when was your first release? Like when did you first release your first single? Do you have a single out right now?
Yes, I actually have quite a few out right now. Now it's kind of a it's kind of a funny thing because I go by the name Am now, but as I was saying before, I've been making music for a long time. So when I would say probably 2016, 17, around that time, I was going by the name Legato, but under the mantra Am, under the name Am, my first release single, I got a lot of them, but I got to think. I think it was a track called Mine, and that was like in, I want to say maybe 2017,
Mhm.
2017, 2018, around that time when I had released that track. So that was the first, official track that I released under the name Am, and that track I actually produced, mixed and mastered everything myself. So that's one that was really really dear to me.
That's right. I'm glad you said that because I was getting ready to segue into that next. You are a producer as well, correct?
Yes, yes, correct, correct. I do produce. It's funny because I actually I started off rapping, but
Mhm.
when I was like, I want to say maybe 16, 17, my dad, he bought me a beat machine. And that's actually what it's called. It's literally called Machine. And I had it in my closet, just collecting dust for a while. I begged him for it. It's so funny because I begged him for it, to give me it. He finally got it to me, and it took me a while before I even started to use it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
But once I did start using it, I just never stopped. I never stopped. Like even to this day, uh, I still use the beat pad. Sometimes I use like different DAW, digital audio workstations, just to you know kind of sharpen up and kind of reintroduce, kind of like experimenting with different type of sounds and things of that nature.
So most of your music, have you done your own tracks for your music?
Yeah, most of it. So most of the music that I have released, like
Mhm.
I would say my biggest song that's out right now is called Light of the Earth. And that track, I actually, it's everything is done in house, production. I made the beat, um and also uh the other thing as well is I had my brother, his name's Yofiel, he's actually on the song as well. He mixed and mastered it, and we came together, just collaborated within our mind, and came out with that track. So everything is just done in house.
What would you say was your first early influence? I know you said your grandma, your great grandmother, but what artists? You know, was there any artists out there when you were growing up that you watched that influenced you even more to do what you're doing now?
Oh yes, indeed, indeed. I'm glad that's actually a good question. I'm glad you asked that question. Um, my older brother actually is the one that influenced me. Like had probably the biggest influence because me and my best friend when we were kids, I would say probably around we met each other when we were like in fourth grade. We still friends to this day. So when we were younger, my older brother he had came out with a album called First Impression. So we always thought, you had to be somebody like Jay-Z or Kanye West, a big type of artist to actually be a rapper. But that was
Mhm.
like the first person that I seen that was like, yeah, I'm an artist, like I'm doing music, you know what I'm saying? So like from then, that's what really inspired me, because I would watch him around the house. He had at the time it was called Fruity Loops. It's called FL Studio now, but he had that, and I would just mess with that. He would show me, the things that he do, how he would write raps. He even wrote some raps for me before. So, that's definitely one of my biggest influence, I would say, when I started out with the music.
That's awesome, man. And I'm glad. I want to give a shout out to your family, man. I remember when I met you that your some of your family was there supporting you in the open mic that we were doing when you came to perform. And I think that's very important, especially for a young man, um, to have that family back and to have that support from your family is nothing like it. And it's such a confidence booster, naturally confidence booster. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
want to commend your family on that, man. I said that night when I met you. It was absolutely awesome. You know what I mean? How they support you and you know and push you. I'm sure to what you want to do. I think
And
it's absolutely awesome, man. Really.
no, that's what I was gonna say about that was actually it's so funny because actually there my family actually wasn't at the event, but
Oh,
the
that
ones that was around me, I know you had I know you had probably assumed that they were my family because I actually just met them that night, at the event, the
you
people that,
serious?
that
Really?
yeah, yeah, so like the brother that because one of the brothers, because I actually didn't get a chance to perform at the
Mm-hmm.
event because
Mm-hmm.
some things happened with the sign-ups and all of that of that nature. But nonetheless, what I was gonna say was the brother that you actually saw me with around. He actually went up to perform, and he just asked me. He just asked me like what I thought of his performance and everything. So I was just there giving him tips and all that, and then just from that, we just kind of built that bond right then and there. And that's kind of like why I like those type of events.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because like even our connection, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just real
Mm-hmm.
genuine. It was real natural. It was like nothing was really forced. So it's like kind of like we just seemed like we knew each other. You know what I'm saying, for X amount of time, even though we just met each other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, those type of events, open mics to me, period, all open mics. The way I look at them and the feeling that I get from them, it's almost like an addict that's addicted to alcohol or drugs and they're going to an AA meeting, right? That is
Right.
the type of satisfaction I get from it. Every single time I go, I don't care where it's at. When I leave, I feel different than I did before I came every time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um, and the love and support in the room is amazing. You know what I mean? I love to see different artists. We all bounce stuff off each other. And then, I
Mm-hmm.
may hear somebody say a certain piece or something, and it may influence me to write something that I've been thinking about that could be a little bit similar or whatever the case may be. Just the
Right.
magic in the room and the networking alone is just amazing to me. I love um, doing those, and I'm going to honestly try to start going to one almost every night, really, if I can. I really
Oh,
do.
that would be amazing for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
them all over the DMV, in
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, Maryland, all over the DMV. So look,
Right.
man, we're gonna get right into it. Whatever you want to spit, whatever you want to, if you got any poetry, if you want to rap something, anything that you want to do, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Um, on my show is no holds barred. Language is poetry. Poetry is art, and that's how I feel about it. So we are grown people. We've heard worse. So whenever you're ready, bro, you just go right on ahead and get it on.
All right. Okay. I think I'm gonna start off with some poetry. So let me see. All right. So now I ain't gonna boast about a life that I ain't live, because where I'm from, I ain't grow up hard. But them curses come to where you are, whether it be drug addiction, poor children, lying, killing, stealing, stolen cars, and illegal guns. Looking at little homie like, where you get this from? Busting guns down the back way, should we thought it was fun, since danger and run when I ain't do nothing. Looking down at metal in my hand and could not understand how metal in my hand had the power to kill a man. Damn. Me and amigos sit on corner of Home Depot. These are the same ones that you depot. Peeping through the window for those who creep slow, slow with lethal. And I ain't got no Jordan shit, I can't even afford them. But the ice don't like me, like I'm icy, flashing, bragging, saying you ain't like me. But I know they don't like me, and I know they like being burglars, murderers, intrude on land, claim that they sightseeing. Then burn, kill kings, queens, princes, princesses, and obsessors, but Christ sees. And the Most High will redeem his will, fulfill his will for his son to rule, and make his enemies his footstool.
I love it. I love it. What influenced that, bro? What made you put pen to paper and come up with that?
So, I actually did a little freestyle over Jay-Z's Dead Presidents, and basically like the content of what I was rapping about was just, you know, history that is not really taught in schools, you know what I'm saying, or history that is not really, you know, addressed and put to the forefront. So like that piece I call Footstool, because I'm a firm believer in the Bible, and as well as history as well, a majority Black history. And what influenced it was when you look at, you know, just the history of colored people in general, not only Black people, but Hispanic people, Native, you know, the indigenous of the land as well, Native American. When you look at our history, it's a lot of things that have happened to us that were, you know, detrimental, to the point where we're still dealing with those things to this day. You know, even though they happened centuries and centuries ago, the adverse effects of those things, the trauma, all those things we deal with to this day, you know. And basically the Bible answers, you know, why we go through those things, and why we have, you know, different situations, why we even went into slavery. Because a lot of times, you know, our history starts, they tell us, oh, you know, when we go into Black history, it's 28 days. It's the shortest month out of all the years. And it's like our history is so much more rich that we don't understand. And that's what I try to speak through, you know, that poem specifically. You know, I try to speak to the truth to power, you know, for our people, and understanding who we are according to the Bible, which is Israel.
Absolutely. Now, I'm sure you have other poetry that's like Christian based or Bible based, you know what I mean? How important do you think that is, though? Because I'm starting to see that a lot of, I was just telling some of my family earlier today, shout out to my sister Thomasina Redmond, the director and writer of I Am Woke. Y'all don't forget August 17th, get your tickets for that. I'm starting to notice that some of the churches are doing some things to try to get the youth into the building, and they're doing stuff like poetry or open mics or things something that they can do to relate to the youth, to get them to, you know, do things a little differently, live a different lifestyle, think about some of the things that they're doing before they make these wrong decisions out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
How much does like poetry and writing for you, how much of it is something that you think is like just kept you out of trouble or kept you clear-headed and knowing and focused on what you want to do?
Wow, that's a great question. Really, like, I mean, music and poetry and rapping and verses, you know, it has kept me on the straightest path, you know, that I could ever really, you know, walk, I feel. And a lot of that is due to, you know, having a sure passion for it, because it's just like kind of like, okay, you know, when you think about anybody that was ever great, you know, or made a mark on the world, you know, as we know it, they always, ended up finding it at, in their youth, for the most part. Like, Michael Jackson, or you may take a look at some different artists that have really, had that from when they were at a youthful age and kind of developed it. And that's how they came out, on the straight. And really, it's like once I learned the Bible, because like I had always knew about the Bible, but it's like I didn't really have any connection with it. And I feel like that's why, now a lot of the youth, they can't really relate to the things that the churches, may like put out, or may put out, because it's like they don't understand that like it's nothing really to connect them to it, and basically from that, that's where I use in the music to show them that, okay, look, no, there is a connection to it, but you just haven't been taught it, or you just haven't heard it. Just like, for me, before, I heard, about who I was, and understanding that my roots are in the Bible, I didn't know these, I was just walking around thinking that, okay, well, this is life as we know it, and I'm just going to do this music thing. But now seeing that it's a greater purpose for it, because when I like, one thing I think about a lot when it comes to the music and the poetry is there's a specific story in the Bible with King David and King Saul. So just a little tangent real quick. When you look at King David and King Saul, basically, King Saul, he was the king of Israel, the first king of Israel, and David was a youth during that time. So everybody knows the story, I'm sure, of David and Goliath. Goliath being the big enemy of Israel, and David as a youth coming out to overcome Goliath in battle. And from that, King Saul being king and seeing a kid, defeat an enemy that he himself was afraid of,
Right.
it made him envy him. So from that, it was this whole hatred, that King Saul had built up for David, who was his brother, but the hatred blinded him. But it's an instance in the Bible where you read about King David. He was a musician. That's why when you read in the book of Psalms, a lot of the Psalms is you'll see, to the chief musician, King David, you'll see his name up there because he actually played the harp. So when you look at King Saul and King David, it was an instance where David actually played the harp for King Saul. And when you read, it tells you that the evil spirit, that hateful spirit that Saul had on him, after he heard David play with the harp, it went away from him. And a good spirit from the Lord came to him. So that scripture shows me, like, all the time, that's what keeps my head on right, when doing the music and keeping the purpose, that as the purpose, because understanding that, just how the music that is commonly known, the killing, the stealing, the robbing, all of those things is influences. But if you take that and you turn into something positive and you start speaking positivity in your raps and things of that nature, people are going to naturally start thinking more positive. Okay, I'm not going to, he just told me that, yeah, this man is my brother, so I'm not going to rob him because he telling me, yeah, like, why shouldn't I? In my music, he's talking about helping. We got to unite. We got to unify. So that's going to inspire them to actually have good, rational decisions and not just be talking about, oh, I got to beef with my brother because so-and-so said it on this song, so that's why I got to do it. Nah, like, we got more positive artists, which is what I'm trying to promote, then you'll have a more positive world.
You said something that stuck out to me too. You used that word passion. And what you're doing, like when you started and when you dreamed about doing what you're doing, did you do it? Did you start this because of the finances that can be accumulated behind it? Or, you know what I mean? Was that the goal for you?
Well, for me personally, that was even before, understanding the not the aging and the understanding. I never really wanted to do it for that reason. Like, I always wanted to do it because it was something that I had a passion for. Like you said, I love doing it. And I understand that those things come with it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, um, that's just a commonly known thing. If people really like your music, musicians make a certain amount of money and X, Y, and Z. But it was never about the money for me. It was always about, you know, the youth and always empowering, the people
Mhm.
to actually be on a more positive wavelength than what, because we kind of had this thing where we called it like, I'm talking about the group that I started with. We kind of had this thing where we called it being out of society. And basically, us being in high school teenagers, we was kind of looking at the state of, all of our friends, they the drugs, the killing. I had friends that I grew up with, played on the same basketball court with that killed, that got killed. So, and by one another. So, seeing all those things, um, it really shifted our mindset to, okay, now we gotta be on something different. We have to be on something positive because we don't want to suffer the same fate that we see everything else is going around us. And we understand that, when you get into these things for the wrong reasons, especially with music,
Mhm.
the outcome is usually never good. So that was always something, our belief in God was real high. And, we always just wanted to do it because it was just a passion, like we just, can sit in the car for hours and just freestyle over beats. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh yeah, something could come from this, of course, but we just doing it because, we just some kids that really enjoy making music. So that was,
Absolutely.
always the mantra behind it.
I love it. I asked you that because I love your work ethic. See, for any of the young people who could be watching, you don't get something for nothing. You gotta put work in to get anything out of anything. If you don't put the
Fact.
work in, this young man, I've been sitting in my house all day today, most of this evening, watching everything that you got on social media, all of your videos and things of that nature, and I can see the work ethic in you. I can see the seriousness in you. There's no, you know what I mean. You're straight focused on what you're doing, and having and honestly, I believe knowing your purpose is a big part of being successful. Really, I think because like when you know for a fact that what you doing is what you should be doing, it's a different feeling that you get from it. You know what I
Right.
mean? It
Right.
is. It definitely is. You're not unsure about it. You like, this is what I want to do. This is what I like doing. And this what makes me feel good. And at the same time, I've noticed that it can help others. There's no amount of money that you can put on that. You know what I mean? And because of how you put the work in, though, you definitely going to be rewarded in so many different ways, bro. Definitely.
I, I definitely appreciate that. God will, Lord willing, that it does come to pass. And one of the things I stand on is just like faith without works, is nothing. So it's dead. So
Yep.
it's like, you know, uh, a big part of, I would say, the growing process within not just doing music, but just in general of just life itself. I just noticed, with anything, it's like God gave us a mind so that, you know, the things that come into our mind, they actually can manifest,
Mm,
So as long as we have the right intention behind it and that
mhm,
we keep, the focus,
mhm,
because because it's one thing, it's like, it's one thing just to think about something, but then to actually act on it is a whole different thing, like, because I can tell you, what I'm going to do, or I'm planning to do this, I'm going to do that, I can tell you that all day, but where is the fruits to show that, that actually is what I ended up doing? So it's just like, I feel like everybody, they just, if anything you learn, you know just understand that, like you said, nothing in life comes without work. You can't get anything, and you want a job, you got to go fill out a job application. You got to do some. You got to go interview. You got to. It's not like you just walk in to the Wendy's and they just give you the polo, to work. So it's just like, you gotta just keep the motivation, and as well as with the visions that you have, just understand and make the move, to actually act upon those visions. That's the best advice that I can really give
yeah,
for
you
that.
just dropped some game that a grown man could use, man. So that was true. That was definitely the truth. But You know, you're right. You gotta put the work in, man. Let's go ahead and do some more poetry or something before we get you out of here soon, man. Whatever you want to spit, whatever you want to give to the people, man, go right ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, um, I was thinking about this. Let me see. Uh, I think I got something that I want to do.
Okay.
Um. Okay. So, I got this. This is basically a Let me fix the camera. 1 second. Boom. Okay. So, um, this is a song that I did a little while ago. I want to say it was probably like some years ago, but I was just thinking about it today because I was thinking about the interview and what kind of pieces I kind of wanted to do. So this
Mm-hmm.
is one going into what we was talking about as far as you asked me the question about money and the fame and all those things. This is actually something that I wrote that goes along with that.
Okay.
So it goes something like, brought none in this world, brought none in this world, brought nothing in. We shall carry nothing now. We brought none, we brought none. We brought nothing in. We shall carry nothing now. People live their life for material gain. As for me, I don't be getting into them things. Understand that overchain leads to more gain. Come to make you iconic, then it brings change. That's heavy, ain't it? When you really in your bag and you can't weigh it. Top back in the jag with the head swinging. Don't lax or the past what you ain't thinking about. Cause now you got the cloud head up in the clouds while you blowing out. Smoked out, loaded women down. All new friends around, boat lounge. Drinking liquor bound. Ain't slowing down. In the midst and the rich is dismissing the chief things given for nourishment of the temple, and not to mention the further you from your mental get spot and blemish, fallen victims who fall to perdition. Godliness with contempt is great gain, forsake your way, exchange, brought none in this world, brought none in this world, brought nothing in. We shall carry nothing out. We brought none, for we brought none. We brought nothing in, we shall carry nothing out. All right, yeah, that's it.
Yo, yeah,
I
man, you
kind
a
of messed it up a
talented
little
guy,
bit,
man. I
but
tell you, you really are,
yeah.
man. I love it. I love it. I do, man. I love it. You really you put thought in your lyrics. You're not just writing shit down. You know what I mean? You put thought behind your stuff. And I love the confidence that you have in it, man. Do something else for us before we 'cause I know
You said so.
I want to hear something else now, man. Whenever you're ready, man. Just, you know what I mean? Just go
uh,
right on ahead. Is that
uh,
a single that you're working on right now?
yeah. You know what's crazy is because I was actually supposed to do that song a long time ago, but one thing I noticed about myself is kind of like a flaw is that I'll have a song, but then I just want to keep hearing it to make sure it's like timeless music, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't just want to put something out there and then a couple of days later it's like, I don't really like that anymore, because I feel like a lot of artists fall subject to that, and so I'm planning to actually. What happened with it? Actually, the beat that I had did it for, it actually got sold. So I'm looking to actually produce it, or find another beat to put it over, so that I can, because that song is done, and I really like it a
So
lot.
that's
So,
right. You do, and you sell tracks as well. I want to let everybody know that you make and sell tracks as well, right?
oh yes, correct. Like, if you actually go on my Instagram, I
Mm-hmm.
have a link in my bio, and you can click. Has the links to everything. You can go on iTunes. I got my music on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. Everywhere. And if
Okay,
you
so
want,
when they looking for your music, what do they pull up so they can get right to what you have put out there?
so for my music, the where I usually allow people send people to is my SoundCloud, because that
Okay.
has my whole music catalog on there. And
Mhm.
the way I'll actually if I can put it up real quick, let me see. Um, it's actually going to be Linktree slash ammo 1000. So to make it easier, my Instagram is above ground gato. So everybody, you know, can follow my Instagram. Just click the link in the bio. You're gonna see all the links actually pop up. So, you know, I make it real easy for everybody. So, you know, you just click that in the bio,
Mm-hmm.
and all the links is right there. So you can just get to it. And
And
that's right in my
your Instagram name is what again?
above ground Gato. So
Above Ground Gato.
yeah,
Yeah,
above ground Gato. Yes, yes, yes indeed.
absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, so another piece. Let's see. I'm trying to see what I want to do. Uh okay, I guess I'll do this. So goes like, I'm calling out to the most high. Save me, 'cause lately I'm falling down to hell. I can't do this without you, without you, without you, without you. Uh, Hoping I can catch a flight to death's high. Red eyes in heaven look down on their lives. Look up, do you want to touch the sky? Or stay down and wait to burn and fry? Keep your head up, you may even learn to fly if you just hang on tight for the ride. I'm told to listen to reach them gold roads, but that goes so distant when you're solo. Though I walk alone, no, I ain't solo. But can I go the distance? Only the Lord knows. I hope my case is different from those I see gone. 'Cause in the end, we all want to get home. But impatience tends to get on us. The temptations start to sit on us. I've been anxious. I need to vent, homie. I'm so heated. Just put the vent on me. I'm calling out to the most high. Save me, 'cause lately I'm falling down to hell. I can't do this without you.
I love it, and that man. When you listen to you, do you ever listen to? Of course, you listen to your own stuff. You know what I mean? Because we are our biggest critics. But do you help yourself when you listening to your music? Like, does it do something to you? Like as a fan of your own self, if that makes any sense to you?
Yeah, that's actually funny and kind of cool that you said that, because I can relate to exactly what you just said. That's literally exactly what the music does for me. Because the thing is, I put in my music, you know, of course we all know, you know, we have flaws and everything. We're not perfect, but we're striving. You know, as for me, you know, we're striving to get to that point. You know, I following behind um Jesus's footsteps. You know, who was a black man. So
Mm-hmm. There you go.
following behind, yes sir, following behind his footsteps, you know. um I put these things in my songs, and the thing is, it's so funny because when I'm listening back, I'm like, damn, I need to work on that, you know, like, because it might be a good character trait that I put in there, and
Mm-hmm.
I may not be fulfilling that to the best at that moment in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
hearing the music is like a kind of like a, it's kind of like a what's a good word I can use? It's kind of like, it's like a follower, you know, like it could just follow the music, kind of follows me around, like, hey, let you know, hey, you kind of going off right here, you know, because I would hear that in a song, and I'm like, damn, yeah, okay, let me get that straight, you know. So it's kind of like as much as I want it to be for the listener when they hear it, of course the music, you know, I want it to sonically sound good and everybody enjoy it and everything, but it's like also when you listen a little deeper, you'll be able to take something from it and apply it to your life, you know, to be like, okay, you know, he said that, let me actually try to, you know, do a better job of that in my life, you know. So that's definitely something where it's like being your own worst critic is good in a way, I feel, because it's like it doesn't allow you to really be just come out like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just the greatest to ever do it, you know, because a humble man is all that we ever need. So it's just like, you know, being humble,
Mm-hmm.
that's the key factor, you know, in everything, you know what I'm saying, that I do, is just being humble. So that's why, you know, listening to the music back, it helps me as much as it's helping the listener, So that's really what I got to say on that.
Do you play any instrument, or do you have any like musical background in any schools or anything like that, or is a lot of stuff that you do really self-taught?
A lot of the stuff that I do is really self-taught. Like in elementary school, my dad, he got me a clarinet. I
Mm-hmm.
went to a couple classes, but I never, that was about it for that. But everything else, like on my page, when I was producing and things like that, I kind of taught myself how to um, hear certain melodies and
Mm-hmm.
begin to play them. I'm not the best instrument player or anything like that, but that's actually a goal that I have, is to expand, because I'm looking to expand the talent. Because it's just like music is just an ever growing thing, and it's just like not really, you can't really reach a plateau. You know what I mean? Like in music, because it's just so much that you can learn. There's so many artists out there that you can really learn from, that just recently I've been around a lot of musicians, so like seeing them play, I've been able to kind of pick their brain a little bit, and kind of see, what really, is the formula, to learning these different things. So I know a little bit, about piano. That's about it. I picked up the guitar for a little bit. I still have my guitar actually, and I'm looking forward to actually getting back on that. But those are two instruments that I say I played around with, to kind of develop a skill for it.
So who would you say are your top three lyricists that you follow, that you love, with poetry, rap, whatever, who
Uh,
would you say are your top three?
wow, that's a good question. Top three. Okay, so for my top three lyricists, I'd have to say one of them. A lot of people is not gonna. I feel like a lot of people is not gonna know, but the three that I would say, I'm gonna add one honorable mention. Because
Okay.
I just can't skip over them. But I would say Kendrick Lamar,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Joey Badass.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco. Oh my goodness! Like that
Why
was
did I
such
know you were going to? That's why I asked. I knew it. Go ahead. I'm
You
listening.
say you know
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say that. Yeah, Lupe Fiasco.
I knew
And
it.
I would say the honorable mention for me, and he really could be in the top three, but it's an artist that goes by the name of Del the Funky Homo Sapien. He's
Man, what do
actually
you know about Dallas fucking Hope? Cut it out, man. Come on, man. You wasn't up. You wasn't. Come on, man. You in your
Hey,
bag, definitely, bro. I gotta give it to you, little guy, because that's way back. You talking about in the '90s now? Come on.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Damn.
definitely,
You
yeah,
know,
like
it's funny, and I asked you that because the vibe that I get from you is like Kanye and Lupe. I'm the fact that you said Lupe Fiasco just blew my mind, because I was thinking that, and I'm like, a lot of people not familiar with Lupe, really. You know what I mean?
exactly,
Uh, the
exactly.
fact that you know who Funky Homo Sapien is, it really messed me up. Honestly, I didn't know you knew that. You definitely in your bag. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, that was wow. Yeah, you definitely do your research and love what you do, man. Give us one more, man, before you get out of here and tell everybody how they can follow you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Let me see. I just gotta think real quick. Which one I want to do. Um. Let's see. Let's see. I just got so many in my head. Okay. I think I'll do this one. All right. So it goes something like, once I start thinking, man, there's no boundaries. You're bound to see them boundaries. They come into thee for balancing qualities. There's lots to be the comedy of wannabes. What an apologies for the helpless these? Nah. Sitting on top of apologies, helping nobody. I can see their minds asleep on top of their heads as apologies. Gotta earn your stripes in the ring like Apollo Creed. Make a son to avenge my name. Michael B. Theodore.
Mm.
Michael J. Dreams the hoop. Billie Jean whoop de whoop. Then get caught up in a loop. Rather flow with 1632 than to be the first to 48. Can't forget my shoelace. Devil catch me tripping, then I'm too late. Killers walking monsters, so I'm feeling safe. Racking up kills, Killmonger dominate. Yet to see my homemate. His on Papa. No Russian took my brother. His on Papa put him under. How you feel when you came up as a youngster with nothing and nothing but lies told to you, and the only ounce of truth you had was dead and gone? Would you believe all the long stories that he told to be his story, or would you get gone and say this if for me? Don't sell it to be lost. This legit, homie. 144K, 144 canes, all under one cane, one body, one mind. One king, one body, one mind. Keep this thing in mind, in my mind. In my mind, in my mind, in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. So that's the one that I got.
I love it, bro. I love it, and man, you are definitely serious about your craft, and I love your I love your work ethic, man. I love how you definitely an old soul, man. It's like you've been here 1,000 times before, man.
Yeah,
And you give me a feel of like a artist that I used to like, artists that I followed in the 90s. Like you give me that type of feel, like that true. I really want to say hip hop feel, honestly. You know what I mean? Because I try not to, music evolves. So even some of the things that I hear that are different, I'm 47 though. Everything that some of the youngsters are making are not for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Now,
But
yeah,
you, my friend, you are special, man. You got your own lane and just run with that, man. Be confident in what you're doing because you got a gift, bro. And you have a story to tell and you can influence so many different people in the right direction. So I commend you and keep doing what you're doing, bro. Definitely.
Definitely, that's love. I'm definitely honored to be able to, even have this conversation with you. I'm thankful to Lady J Media, for allowing me on the show. It's, definitely been a pleasure. Definitely been an honor, for real.
Absolutely. Tell everybody how they can follow you.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at Above Ground Gato, ABOVEGROUND Now, everything basically, like I said, when you go on my page and you follow the Instagram, the link in the bio will take you to all the other platforms that I'm on. So, that link to the bio is your gateway, but like I said, I encourage everybody to go on my SoundCloud. I actually have I have a goal by the end of the year. I want to have at least 1 million total plays. Right now I got 300,000. So I'm looking forth just to get heard, so if y'all can just help with pushing the music out there, I highly appreciate it, and I'll give y'all flowers back, definitely.
Absolutely, little bro. Anything I can do, please reach out to me and let me know. This will not be your last time on the show. I definitely have to have you on again. Everybody follow this young man, support him. Follow him on Instagram. Go on there, download his music. We got to support our family and our youth and inspire someone else. So keep inspiring people, bro. You are excellent at what you do, and do not stop. You all stay tuned for Brother Chad shows coming up right after mine next. Also, tomorrow, Vibes and Verses. We kicking it off for the children, y'all. Vibes and Verses for the youth, for the teenagers. Everything for the teenagers is going on tomorrow. The vendors, the poets, the singers, the DJ, everybody. My man, if you can get in there, Am, come on through, man, and bless us like you did the last time you was there. It's going to be a good look. All for the month of August, we celebrating the youth. So tomorrow is the 11th. The second and fourth Thursday of every month, you want to be down at Sea Roses, 4,000 Coolidge Avenue. Be in the house, and you got the vibes. We definitely got the verses. And be safe out here, little bro. I'm gonna holler at you, man. All right.
All right, man. You be safe too, John. I appreciate you, big bro.
Absolutely, bro. I'll stay in touch with you.
Definitely.
All right.
I know you do. I know you do, because that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Why you pushing me?
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. 'Cause I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world right now. Much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in the chain.
Take it down!
Thanks for tuning in to What Up Baltimore online